This video covers issues of e-commerce in this security issues and as well as the legal issues of e-commerce will be covered. Let's see the security issues of e-commerce. The first one is confidentiality. The second one is integrity. The third one is availability, authenticity, non-repudiation, auditability, privacy. Coming to the first one, that is confidentiality. This tells that information should not be accessible to any unauthorized person or the hacker. It should not be intercepted during the communication or during the transmission. That is nothing but messages and data should be available only to the authorized person. The information is not intercepted means that it has to reach to the right destination or the right recipient to receive the information. The next one is integrity. This tells that information should not be altered or changed during the data communication or during the transmission over the network. The third one is availability. This tells that information should be available to the user wherever and whenever required, and it has to be specified within a time limit. The next one is authenticity. This is nothing but there should be some mechanism to authenticate a user or a person before giving him or her an access to the required information. What this tells? This tells that there should be some tool to identify the identity of a person or an entity with whom we are dealing on the internet. The next is non-repudiation. This is nothing but it's a protection against the denial of order or payment. This is applicable for both sender and as well as the receiver or recipient. The sender, after sending a message, the sender should not be able to deny sending the message, or recipient or the receiver of the message should not be able to deny the receipt. Non-repudiation is some kind of assurance that someone cannot deny the validity of something. This is mainly used in information security, which provides the proof of the origin of data and the integrity of data. Coming to the next one, that is auditability. In case of auditability, it can be audited only for integrity requirements. In that case, data should be recorded. The last one is privacy. Privacy is a major threat to any online transaction or internet user. We have seen that confidentiality is concerned about the information present during communication, whereas privacy is concerned with personal details. In general, privacy is used to control the usage of information by the customers that they have given to the merchant. Before we proceed for the next slide here, security is one of the essential part or important component of any transaction which take place over the internet. If security is compromised, then customers will lose their faith in e-business. In the same way, data which is available on the website must be secured and it should be available for the user for 24 into 7. If this facility is not available, then it is very difficult to gain a competitive edge and survive in the digital world. And also, information should be encrypted and decrypted only by an authorized user. Next is of legal issues of e-commerce. In that the first one is trademarks and domain names. Then what is trademark? Trademark is a specific logo, mark, word, symbol, design or image which is used by an individual or a company to distinguish a product or service from that of others in a market. Talking about the domain names. The competition over domain name is another legal issue. Earlier, domain name were given on first come, first served basis. Thus, the people would register domain names that were not in use but would be of importance. Later on, such domain names were sold to concerned company at higher price. Another problem in domain names is name changing where someone registers purposely misspelled variations of well-known domain names. This can mislead the consumers or customers who generally makes typographical errors while entering the URL or while entering the web address. The second one is of copyright and the internet. Every nation has its own rules and regulations. The major challenges are related to IPR, that is intellectual property rights, copyrights, privacy, and many times the disputes among the parties. The legal framework is necessary to resolve these issues. Many countries have their own legal framework for electronic commerce. Rules and regulations provides confidence to the customers that their personal information remains secret and will not be misused. If it is misused, responsible party can be punished. Companies making online business are getting legal support in case of misuse of their logos or any copyright materials like digital content. When we speak about the IPR, to secure intellectual properties, this includes books, software, music, video, trademarks, web pages, or it can be article, or it can be even paintings. Copyright provides the author with a tool to protest his or her original work from being used by others or taken by others without permission. This is applicable to books, software programs, and articles. Copyright law protects IPR in its various forms and cannot be used freely. In e-commerce, it is very difficult to protect intellectual property. For example, if you buy a software, you have rights to use it, but not to distribute it. Distribution rights are with the copyright holder. Most of the web pages are protected by copyright. In that case, copying a content from such pages also violates the copyright law. To protect the intellectual property, there are several new and improved methods are available. Some of them are digital watermarking, the other one is steganography. Coming to the third one, that is service provider liability. In this case, service provider will provide users to access shared website. When they provide this particular option of having shared website, in that case, this may also allow the users to upload illegal and offensive content or the material on the web. In that case, service provider will be having full control over the sites or the web pages and their services which are provided to the customers. The next one is regarding about interchange agreements. In case of interchange agreements, to have effective trade and commerce and to have improved business relations between trading partners, for that EDI interchange agreements have to be created. For the information availability at the right place and the time, for this proper business planning has to be done between the partners. The next one is of software licensing. In case of software licensing, this will ensure that software is being used legally. Once the license is given to the user, it will tell that it's a non-transferable right to use that particular software. It cannot be given to some other person. The same way, when software license is there, it's something like an agreement between the user and the owner of the software program. The last one is of programming malfunction. In case of programming malfunction, when the companies will go for contract, that is when the e-business will have a contract or some type of agreement between e-business and with any of the programmer, companies will be aware regarding about certain problems or maybe errors in the software or the application which they have purchased from the outside programmer. In that case, in the agreement or in the contract, there should be some mechanism to address this one. They have to make some arrangement for making modifications or changes to solve them. This completes the legal issues of e-commerce. Thank you.